Asteroid Deimos 875. For billions of years, this hunk of rock just sat here in the most godforsaken quadrant of the universe. It just sat here cooking up its special blend of promethium. An energy source so powerful it can fuel an entire planet. Or blow it to hell. Our science pukes back home sent out thousands of probes to search for this crap. And once we found the mother lode, shit, everything changed. We arrived first and laid claim to the rock. Now it was our rock, our promethium, and business was good. Then the Varus arrived. Sure, they looked different than us, but they wanted the same goddamn thing, and lots of it. At first it looked like we'd all get along just fine, but then something happened, and things got ugly. Real ugly. Those bastards attacked and we got the shit kicked out of us. Sure, we fought back, but it didn't go so well. Now the Varus have gone underground, cut off all communication, so the UE is sending us in to bury this place. Because if we can't have it, nobody can. Let the fun begin.
Insertion complete. Jack, how do you read?
Fine.
I forget you're real chatty. Ray and I are going to run Overwatch from low orbit, guide you through. Markers will appear on your visor. Let's see about getting you in. Main entrance sealed off. Stand by for plan B.
The hell? Iris, where's my entrance?
I missed.
Wonderful. A computer that miscalculates.
Learn to shoot straight into the bull, then criticize my targeting.
Ladies, can we review the game plan here?
We use the element of surprise to sabotage as much of the refinery as we can, and get the hell out before the Vorus even know what hit them. No heroics.
Get in, poke around, pull out, and no heroics. Sounds like your idea of a perfect date.
Very funny, Jack.
All right, you mothers. By the power vested in me by UE Command, make an official log. The call to lay down arms has gone unanswered.
This is Dr. Karen Matheson to anyone who may be listening. All of this is just one big, terrible mistake, and not figuratively. I mean... Now, if you're hearing this, there still may be hope. You must find all the logs I left around the station and bring them back to UE Command as proof. They need to understand. And I need my family to know that I did everything I could. I don't know what
Dr. Karen Matheson. Yeah, I remember her from the staff roster. Her logs may be the key to making heads or tails out of this shit.
Agreed. Need to find more.
5 headshots.
Whole lot of them down here. UE were monitoring space around the rock, and only a couple of freighters arrived since Vorus took control.
Which begs the question, where's all the muscle coming from?
Iris, dead end.
Stand by. I'm hacking the central grid.
No intrusion nerve gas this time, if you please.
That was years ago and an honest mistake. Shit. The door's got a mechanical conduit isolated from the system.
Meaning?
Just blow it.
Now you're talking.
Worker drones, leave them. They're no threat.
Headshot streak. Headshot streak. Headshot streak. Headshot streak. Headshot streak.
Cloak signatures detected beyond this door. Look for field distortions due to movement.
In English?
Shoot anything that moves, including the air.
Headshot streak.
Damn thing's as volatile as my axe.
Refined orange promethium can output absurd quantities of raw energy, while the blue variant is raw and largely harmless. Responds only to high-pressure buildup.
So does my axe.
Okay. I cannot believe I'm doing this. My name is Karen Matheson. I'm the chief scientist assigned to oversee the Prometheus 1 project by the United Earth Council. I'm 35. No, that's irrelevant. I am an MIT grad. I majored in nanoscience. Got involved with the UE space program straight out of college. Well, they have been paying for my education since my freshman year. And this is what I wanted, so... Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. But to be honest, and if you're looking for something with more scientific merit, dear listener, I'd say you're a little bit fucked. Not only Major Tom is lonely up in space. Asteroid Deimos 875. It's where we are now, by the way. A bit of history is in order, I suppose. No one really knows who spotted it first, since UE engineers hardly ever get credit for their work. It's all a collaborative effort for the good of mankind and all that. We've known for quite some time that a single, extremely rare isotope of promethium, dubbed NX-01, exists on this rock. What's so special about it? Without going into too much detail, a cupful can power a 1 million citizen city for a month. We barely get a whiff of it to date, and now Deimos is finally in our reach.
From what I can see, the Vorists are pretty busy moving the promethium around. I wonder why they don't just organize transport back home.
That's what we're gonna find out.
Place looks like a dorm party rolled through.
Doesn't make sense to just wreck the place up. Some equipment was bound to be adaptable to their tech. We need to dig deeper. Head for the pumping station.
I've spent the last 3 months in a temp barracks facility on the asteroid. But today, the main research station coupled with the mine was finally open for business. This is a relief because the atmosphere here, while habitable, doesn't exactly do wonders for my well-being. Oh, and by the way, I love my new laboratory. Sorry I had to say it. 20 years of sharing clothes with your male siblings does that to you. Anyway, back on topic. I received the first samples of NX-01 2 days ago, and naturally, I haven't slept since. This element is the single most fascinating turnover in my career. Preliminary tests show that it could self-replicate given a favorable environment. And if so, humanity might have finally hit the jackpot.
Headshot streak.
Minigun turret on the other side of the bridge. Go cover to cover, or it'll mow you down. Primary fires at 7.62 at over 1,000 meters per second. Secondary spews a pool of plasma faster than my mother-in-law. But it's a good use.
I sure will.
Knock it on. First row seat, baby.
briefing stated a Vorus science team was stationed here alongside infantry. The grunts are still here, so where are the eggheads?
Maybe the big boys got hungry and ate them.
Be on the lookout for more logs from Dr. Matheson, and we might get some answers.
So, how was it? First contact, you ask? Pretty okay. Sorry if you were hoping for a more enthusiastic recap, but I came here to research high-fidelity isotopes, not shake hands with aliens. Me, 2 senior army officers, and the facility administrator were sent in to make peace with the Indians. Tall, bulky, humanoid. All heavily armed and male, I think. We encountered a few of them kneeling over a Prometheum rift joining hands. Not a very good start to interrupt a prayer session, but after the initial bemusement, they took a few steps back, waiting for our move. A few terrifyingly long minutes passed in silence. And I remembered having a spare test tube in my pocket, so without further ado, I walked over, took a small sample from the rift and offered it to them. Hey, I was getting cold standing there. The Vorus exchanged a few grunts, and I was sure that they were going to eat us alive. But no. They took the tube and exchanged it for their portable drilling gear, which nearly flattened me. Start the white smoke.
Son of a...
Whoa, that's one big mother. Big gun, too.
We're gonna compare sizes now? Bring it on, bitch.
Live fire, duck.
What the hell is he saying? Iris, can you translate?
Yes, but I don't think you want to know.
Try me.
Reinforcements, watch it.
You're right. I don't want to know. Think you should have stuck to a pop gun, Junior. Iris, I see the pumping station. Stand by for some fireworks.
Acknowledged.
This puppy has seen its last drop of promethium.
Since you blew up the pumping station corridors, you need to keep moving and dig yourself a new entry to the main pumping facility.
By blowing it open naturally?
Sounds like a plan.
Once the rig's drill is done for, we can pull you out.
As it turned out, we do have a diplomatic corps. Linguistics is a hobby of one of my colleagues, Dr. Solemn. We couldn't wait months for the UE to send in their specialists, or keep bartering with the Vorus. So off went Jeremiah Solemn, with a smile as wide as his face, to establish some sort of common understanding between our species. It took a while, but it seemed the Vorus were as eager to talk as we were. As Jerry put it, they have a delightful language based on the simple principle of always branching out from the word want. After he nailed down the basics on paper, a few of our engineers programmed a simple verbal translator. First real test run is tomorrow, as the Vorus want to send emissaries.
What the hell happened to the lights?
Looks like the pumping station generator's failure caused a surge within these conduits. Luckily, your EMP sensor should cause interference with the pre-refined promethium gas and enable you to see, to some extent.
Something fantastic happened today. I don't want to sound like a teenager finally getting an invite to the prom, but the Boris delegation offered their help with NX-01 development. Apparently they had quite a head start and have a much wider grasp of its capabilities. I think seeing that we were here first, they want to collaborate, splitting the output 50-50. That's a pretty good deal in my book. Don't get me wrong, I'd love to get the Nobel Prize for advances in nanoscience, but let's be realistic. Earth needs this sooner rather than later. Oh, right, the Voris gave us one condition. The tech must be used solely for industrial development and not warfare. They couldn't, or wouldn't, explain why this was so important to them. We're waiting for an answer from UE Council. Let's hope this doesn't flop.
You should be able to reach the upper level platform with your zipline.
Good news. We received a green light from home. We were ordered to establish a working relationship with the Voris and assess what their tech can actually do. Then brief the UE Council in 1 week's time. An official representative will be sent from Earth to formally sign an agreement with them. Provided they deliver, of course. And speaking of representation, the aliens send one of their own. Her name is Karka, and it is a she. Nearly half the size of a male Voris warrior, but makes it up with the huge headdress and robes a 15th century Chinese emperor wouldn't say no to. Oh, and get this. She's the High Engineer, supposed to help integrate their tech into ours. Go figure.
You're close to the drilling
Yeah.
chamber. It's all the way up from now on. You can expect heavy
That's awesome.
resistance.
They can expect my boot up their ass.
I watched some news feed my friend sent over from home. Of course, the stream had to be well hidden and heavily encrypted, as UE sensors will sugarcoat everything that happens on Earth. And it's not a pretty sight. The Arab League is threatening to torch the last drop of oil on the whole planet. And again, our good socialist UE state responded with the whole explore every option for the good of mankind rhetoric. Assholes. We are up to our knees in shit. Global markets collapsing one by one, poverty spreading rampant. And the only thing that they can think about is how to wind each other up like kids in preschool. We need Promethium. And fast. We started work on the merging process. Okay, I will admit that I had Karka all wrong. I think the priestess outfit was just for show. As soon as she hit the lab, she changed into working clothes and went straight to it. I don't even think she sleeps. One evening I caught her sipping from a test tube. She looked at me and said, kaolinite. Kaolinite is a kind of silicone-rich clay. Eatable in theory. So I took her to the kitchen and made my famous pasta alla ketchup. Because that's the only thing I can cook since campus that doesn't spontaneously combust. And then we talked. Apparently Voris society is strictly dual in nature. Men safeguard the species and women develop it. No patriarchy or anything, everyone is in the same boat. But why is it so important that we don't use their tech for any kind of weaponry? It is religion, it is taboo, she said. Fine by me. UE brass arrived today, which means a whole bunch of army ships and a Colonel Payton put in charge of the negotiations. It's been 3 months since we started to integrate Voris tech into our own. We now have a fully functional mine and refinery, which processes NX-01 into its fullest, most atomically dense state. We're gonna take the Voris up on their offer then, I guess. Payton wants the senior facility staff to attend a meeting at 1600 hours to discuss orders from Earth. I wonder what they'll cook up this time.
That console operates the drill's cooling systems. Access the admin mainframe and disable their routines.
Tell you what. I'm gonna hit these keys at random.
And now you trigger the defense mechanism.
I missed the time. You just typed in run, and it did.
Heads up, turrets.
One down.
that flying shit. Home stretch, baby! Don't let me down! And we have a winner.
Thanks.
Not you. Pay up, Iris.
You bet. Against me?
There was a 79.25% statistical probability you wouldn't make it. Hey, good job at beating the odds.
Unbelievable.
Something's coming through the fire.
Bit of a drama queen, isn't he? Living fireworks it is, then.
Cocky son of a bitch. Don't let him land on your big head.
Double kill.
I cannot believe it. I just knew they wouldn't let it go. Peyton herded us into a conference room and announced it was the Council's decision to go ahead with establishing a weapons development program in secrecy. I told him I tried to explain that the Vorse were very strict about our deal. Nothing. It's like talking to a wall with a sardonic, get back to your little chemist set smile painted on it. God damn it. How am I supposed to lie? Straight to Kata's face. She's been so cooperative and putting my personal feelings aside, how is this going to help us anyway? Like, hasn't Earth seen its share of WMDs during World War III? I'm going to send my veto through the official channels, but for now, I have no choice but to go along with it. Kotka invited me for a guided tour of the Vorse mothership today. I say guided as we were only allowed in low security clearance areas. I still got something between a scorn and a grunt out of every male we passed. She told me not to worry about it, it's their thing. Men keep high hormone levels to be ready for battle. Women want to have it that way. Okay. And the ship? Let's just say it's not my idea of an alien super frigate. And most things barely run, fall apart, or are just about to. Kotka explained because the fleet ship still had weapons outfitted from a forgotten part of Vorse history. They were deemed unclean and couldn't be tended to except for life support systems. When asked why, she gave me the silent treatment again, but then said we'll talk back on Prometheus 1.
Previously used for vessel maintenance, but logs show it is now empty. One click ahead. We'll meet you there.
Now I know a little bit more. It wasn't easy for her to say to an outsider, but Kotka took my hand and told the story of her homeworld. The Vorse rely almost completely on Promethium as an energy resource. It was first encountered on their planet almost a century ago. Didn't take long before fights broke out for complete control. The Vorse society was always very much military in nature, and they only see two options to any conflict: total victory or complete defeat. Years later, a world emerged in utter ruin. The Vorse learned their lesson. They centered their religion on Promethium. As they understood it, brushing against total annihilation meant the elements wanted something more for them. Some story, right?
Ventilation ducts are the fastest way to reach the cave system.
You might want to switch off that grill, unless you want to be the main course for the day.
I hate Whoa.
Shaft.
Yeah. That sound.
Double kill.
High Promethium index signatures. They'll explode on impact. The sweepers were used as fuel waste disposal bots. Easy to tug out the safeties.
And make them walking frag grenades.
Guerrilla tactics,
You're in the
huh?
cave. Not
Two
long
can play
now.
at that game. That's awesome. Are you getting this?
Running the imaging through the database now.
I can already tell you, it's a Vector-class frigate.
He's right. Looks like it was stripped down previously and they're re-outfitting it now.
Now, what the fuck for? Worst idea for a shipyard ever.
That's what I'm gonna find out.
Since Kotka opened up to me, I can't help feeling resentment towards Peyton and the likes of him in UA Command, and to myself for hiding the truth from her. We've already managed to modify a few of our infantry weapons, like the EL-05 minigun, to focus and shoot impact particles of NX-01 the size of a fist. The process the Boers have given us can easily be adapted to refine raw promethium in the gun's barrel. That's only the proof of concept phase. Wait till we get a hold of the bigger arsenal. Somewhere deep inside, I already know we'll end up just like them. Is this karma, or am I just that sleepy?
I dug something up. According to Army intel, Vector-class frigates are most often used to resupply Boers' destroyers.
Destroyers here? Bullshit.
We've encountered them only once since first contact, and I can see no reports of sightings anywhere in the system.
That dares it. No extraction for now. We need some solid intel on what the Vorse are really doing down here.
Oh, God, this is just great. I've fallen asleep in the weapons research laboratory and Kotka found me. When I woke up, she just stood there looking at me. Disappointed, angry. Before I understood what had happened, she stormed the place and started tearing everything apart. It took me a while to calm her down and to not alert security, but still rattled, she yelled at me, saying if her people found out, I would be executed on the spot. And she took off. I feel like a traitor. She's not even the same species.
Crash and burn, bitch.
Looks like they'll be throwing moon rock next. We're on to something. I remember there being an internal tram system, right?
Yes, nearest station is just up ahead.
Perfect. Front row seat is what I need.
Multiple signatures detected. Brace yourself. They'll be on you like flies.
I'm all alone again. Kotka now spends most of her time walking away in her corner. She didn't tell anything to the people, obviously. I can still feel my head sitting firmly on my shoulders. The way she looked at me. I remember Faye having the exact same look when I told her that she had to stay with her father for the duration of the mission. Chris and I are divorced. Same reason as you no doubt have used. Would I have done it differently if I could have a rerun? No.
Both barrels.
I'm doing this for them. Both of them. I don't blame Chris, and I hope he finds someone more suitable to family life than someone who just got knocked up and lived through it. Yep. For better, for worse, in sickness and in health. My work is my partner. But God, she's a real bitch right now. Cheers.
Peace at last.
No rest for the wickedly awesome.
Shit.
Whoa, Nelly. Fucker's fast.
don't say. Let's see you go through this. Not gonna let me go, huh? Have it your way. No space left in your rusty guts for a logic unit, was there? On the move. Shit. Can't this go any faster?
It was designed for Promethium transport, so don't expect an express.
But you can expect his company. You cover both sides.
Should be a lot of Promethium energy conduits on the wall. You know what to do.
5 explosion kills.
Forest destroyers, at least a dozen.
Sons of bitches are gunning for Earth.
I'm notifying SETCOM.
No. Fighters will knock you from the sky, Ricky Tick. Besides, it'll take a month to get the UE fleet here. We need to take them down, here and now, while they're vulnerable. Those ships never came up on our radar. That means they've made an FTL jump straight into the rock. Precision it took to pull that off must have bled the ships dry of Promethium. That's why they've been so mum lately. They're refueling.
Seriously, Jack. What can we do other than die trying?
Well, Promethium reacts to high pressure, right? How about a Vorus mothership crashing at 10 Gs?
Bye-bye, Boris Fleet. They see the fireworks back on Earth.
Let's get to it. Iris, calculate a route to the station's docking tower.
Jack?
What?
There's a reason for this track being blocked off. Logs say the rails are only half built.
Now you tell me?
Time to jump ship.
A little heads up next time?
Car transmission is shot. Brace for impact.
Not again. Goddamn public transport. Chest beating, and such a glass chin.
We'll have to find an alternate route to the docking tower. Stand by. Schematics are all in Vorus since they were the ones handling manufacturing.
Mother of all hangovers. So good my patio is glassed because it always rains on this godforsaken asteroid. Hold it together, Karen. I just wish the Council would respond to my messages. I mean, they are in way over their heads here. Just look at the Vorus soldiers doing their training. So much devotion. Now they're preparing for ritual cleansing after using their guns, I believe. Judging from how much damage they inflict when they spar with each other, I don't think I want to see it. Just how big the disaster to their home planet must have been to transform ruthless warmongers to these disciplined warriors. And if we continue down this path, can Earth hope to survive the same?
This guy once used to hide himself under a cardboard box and walk around the base. They kick us, man. True story.
Keep looking. Docking stabilizers under control for now.
I did it. I've spoken with the Vorus warriors. They were anxious at first, but when I played Peyton's conversation, it's like they froze where they stood. Not 2 hours later, every last member of Vorus personnel was recalled to the mothership. Except for Kartka. She showed up at my quarters with a bottle of liquor. We're still talking about someone who can go for days on end on digestible chemical compounds. She said there was no more place for her in Vorus society. By deciding to hide our deception, she disgraced herself and was stripped of rank and position. And it's all my fault. She says she doesn't hold it against me, and now we all make the gravest of mistakes, and we refuse to see we've long passed the point of no return. And then collapsed. She's sleeping now. I look up at the silent mothership in low orbit. Did I just swap one bloodshed for another?
Bit late for a climactic horror moment, isn't it?
Yeah. Payoff's probably more sweepers under the floor panels. Or underground behind the blast door.
Even better. Toasters make larger targets. I see the elevator. Where will it take me?
Closer to the surface.
You're shitting me. This ain't no moon landing, Iris.
Don't worry your pretty little jarhead. I found a spacesuit you'll like.
Seeing a large open area. Docking bay of sorts. Welcome change of scenery.
Hold on. Obstruction detected.
Terrific. What kind?
The stomping, shooting kind.
What else? You want to play rough? Let's play rough.
Saw that one. Marines call it the Big Toaster. As a pair of surface-to-air launchers can really cause a mess.
They shouldn't be effective at ground level.
If by effective you mean accurate, not so much. Apparently a software glitch makes them go berserk and fire off salvos right and left. That's why the Vorus never bothered to do anything about it. That big trash can's effective in its own right. The one bites the dust.
Faulty wiring will do that. Still no closer to that damn damn tower. You said you had a backup scenario? I'm all ears.
There's your scenario.
Good girl. Let's see what we have here. Control stick, power grid, pretty straightforward. We need help deciphering these buttons.
Left stands for mow 'em down, and right, hit 'em hard.
Gotta love the Vorus' sense of simplicity.
Explosion kills.
Okay, this is it. Exterior airlock. Get ready for the site.
Bound bonus.
Exterior defenses were exclusively under Vorus control. In hindsight, not the best idea.
You think? Finally, the docking tower. Can't wait to get out of this thing. Stinks something fierce in here.
We may have a small problem, though.
Fuck me, you call that small? It's a good thing you're not a real woman.
Are you a real man?
Could you two stop and tell me how to deal with this thing?
He may look the part, but logs suggest it's an unfinished prototype built on the same basic principle as the others. Use your suit's firepower. First weapon, then armor. Then you can fly the core.
Be cool.
Here we are. Gravity stabilizer controls are on floor 022. I'll guide you.
Judging from what they had guarding the base of the tower, resistance is only gonna get tighter.
Resistance is futile. I always wanted to say that.
Thought there weren't supposed to be any gears in this.
You humans sure like them. Anyway, these make up the basis of the central gravity system, so we're right on track. The way is up, through elevator A1. Jack, scanners show a large heat signature on the elevator. Docking stabilizer aligns large vessels with the asteroid's rotation. I've done the math. Putting it into overdrive should generate enough force to yank the mothership off balance. And once its engine is blown to hell, the rock's gravity well will do the rest.
Good job. Now let's rattle their cage.
Headshot
Okay,
streak.
I'll see you through the
Pistol
control
streak.
logic. Gravity stabilizers are complex.
Again, just gonna fuck around with these randomly.
Jack, you... Huh? Central arm has started rotating counterclockwise to the other two. That will cause a vortex, yes!
Real genius, that one. I think I let you cheat on the entry exam.
Yeah, and we both failed. They only let us in on account of our physical.
Man's gotta play to his strengths. Nice view, huh? Kinda makes you think about how war can never destroy the real beauty of the world.
Not really.
Last time I tried to reach out to you, that's for sure.
Large open hole behind this door, and it's the only route to the docking port. That means a lot of enemies standing by.
Let's not keep them waiting. We'll have to do better than that, alien brains.
Need to skip 2 floors to get to the cargo bay leading up to docking. Get a move on.
The Vors have invaded the city. God, this sounds absurd, considering we were working here side by side only a week ago. Everything has changed. They're pushing the army, and us civilians with them, further and further towards the mined-out caverns. When I mentioned to one of the officers they should try to break through one of the landing bays and try to launch some of the people in supply freighters, he barked back that if I want to be flattened by Vors airstrikes, I can go right ahead. When I insisted, he bashed me hard across my face. I don't really blame him. He's just a kid who thought doing jumping jacks on some off-world colony would be as good an alternative to hanging around that decaying planet of ours. Time to do something more productive than waiting around to be shot.
Or not.
I've detected a manual override of the elevator's controls. You should be able to exit via the maintenance catwalk, though.
Can you restart them?
Manual override, as in with a blunt instrument directly to the
Knock,
console.
knock.
Time for some sabotage of our own. Release the tower's docking clamps. It's working. The gravity vortex is starting to suck the mothership in. They've engaged the thruster engines. You gotta knock out their main power core before the stabilizers overheat, or the whole plan goes to hell.
Working on it. Do you have an entry point yet?
Yeah, but you're not gonna like it.
I bet.
We'll get back to that. Get to the cargo bay.
The situation has deteriorated rapidly in a matter of hours. Karka and I have split from the main group, and not a moment too soon. They were attacked by 2 Vors Centurions and accompanying warriors. All of the soldiers were killed, and the remaining civilians herded away. The plan right now is to hide out until things calm down enough to make a run for the shuttle bay. We've always had a few on standby, ready for a quick launch in case our sensors detected a Prometheum spike. Once we clear the asteroid's orbit, we can send out an SOS to command. Admittedly not the best escape plan in human history, but it's the only thing we've got.
I'll rip your spine out.
You've got some imagination, Buster Brown. The hell are you supposed to be, Fatso?
Our last line of defense before we send the mothership to Kingdom Come. Looks more like the local pisshead if you ask me.
I'll kick your small, fleshy ass.
You can barely lift your leg. Take 5.
Good one. Now take the tram directly to docking.
Headshot streak.
What do we have here? What's the plan? Where's the insertion point?
Exhaust port.
As in engine exhaust port? I didn't get all the way here to end up as fried chicken.
I'm not about to lose this fight now either. The Boris overheated the thrusters trying to break from the gravity vortex. Shake a leg and the only thing you'll have to worry about is a sauna treatment.
It's 4 days since we hid away. The Boris have taken over most of Prometheus 1 now. Mopping up any stragglers left and tearing out our hardware. Probably to install theirs. Going back and forth between thinking whether any of my friends and colleagues made it, and how tired and hungry I am. Karka, on the other hand, remains calm and dispassionate, like a Buddhist monk knowing that Nirvana may be just around the corner. When I asked her about it, she said it's time we acted. After much debate, we've decided to use body bags to board the mothership. The Force avoid interacting with the dead as much as possible, so we should make it. Once on board, we'll attempt to get to Karka's private lab and out an SOS from there. You think I'm crazy for doing something like this, but it's better than sitting around starving. And Earth needs to know what's happening here.
Catwalk to the left.
Jack, we've served together for a long time. You know going down that rabbit hole could be a one-way ticket.
Don't get soft on me now. We'll be smoking cigars in no time.
Hoorah. Can't wait, brother.
Jack, comms check.
Read you loud and clear. Give me a route straight to their collective ass so I can kick it out of this galaxy.
Spoken like a true patriot.
You've got it the other way around. You need to go through the shaft. Stop it, Ray. Ventilation shaft. Clear it and reach main security. Then we go for the heart.
Sounds equally breathtaking.
We've been successful in avoiding Vorus patrols as we were able to squeeze in between the capsuled bodies of the dead Vorus warriors. I'm not gonna touch further on the subject. Sneaking around the ship, we've come across the cleansing of the captured science team. The term would suggest something more sublime than it actually was. A dagger to the throat. As I watch, the people I lived and worked with for so long, lined up and slaughtered, I know I have to try and send out that signal. Okay, we've made it to Karka's lab through countless ventilation shafts and crannies. Remarkably, everything is left intact. I've compiled a small message, tiny enough to hopefully go unnoticed or be taken for white noise due to miscalibration. But containing UE's header so that when it bounces off solar Morden waves, one of our ships will pick it up. Maybe. Unfortunately, I can't fit in the recording of Peyton's conversations, but a copy of it is in my quarters, safe for your review. At least some degree of... Oh, shit. No!
How many of you fuckers are there?
Ventilation should be just below you. Shoot the canisters.
Mega kill.
I need to catch my breath. It was Peyton. I can't believe that bastard survived. Did he hide in that lab the whole time? God, what does it even matter now? Karka rushed him. His nearly drove a metal pipe through my skull. A few passing guards took notice and stormed in. I barely got out of there. God, she's dead. God, I'm so sorry.
Let me guess. They've dug in on the other side.
Pretty much.
So predictable, it will hurt.
Days pass like weeks. I'm so exhausted I don't even pay attention to the noises. It's just a matter of time now. I'm going to review and store some of my research on NX-01. I still have the strength to talk. That way maybe I'll have some closure. Some sense that this was not in vain. Even if nobody ever hears this. I wanted to say something to you, Faye. It's not likely that you'll ever hear this, but in the event that you do, I want you to understand. I don't know how they'll portray these past events in the media. Will the government make martyrs out of us all, or bumbling idiots? The truth is, the blame lies somewhere in between. The retaliation from the Force was brutal and unrelenting. Maybe even unjust for us going back on the deal. Or maybe it's not right to perceive the world by our fixed standards. God knows they haven't been that high throughout our history. To their credit, Boris tried to resolve the situation as best as their strict doctrine allowed. But only time will tell if rejecting Prometheum's prowess for destruction was the right path to follow.
Iris, I have eyes on the bridge.
Great. You need to give me access to the navigational controls, and I'll do the rest. There should be 3 tiers of auxiliary stations that must be bypassed first. One more tier.
Stand by.
Headshot streak. Headshot streak.
You got it. Now disable the primary locks and I'm in.
Streak. Headshot streak. Headshot streak.
Unlocked. Iris, do your thing.
One ticket straight to hell, coming right up. Trajectory set. Took some wrestling with the ship's AI, but this baby is headed straight down.
Show me the way to the core, Big Mama.
You can use the service tunnels, that's fastest. Albeit the entrance has mag locks, so you'll have to find and shut down 4 independent generators to pry it open.
Target reached. Work your magic on the consoles.
One more and we're golden.
Done. Time to play Tunnel Rat again.
I've been able to access lower deck memory banks via the bridge. They say there are 2 Guardians on this ship. One is definitely a mech construct. Details on the other one, however, are scarce. It's referred to as the Key, and only solid intel I've got is apparently it's modeled on their god.
We went against planetary drug lords, but this is new.
We had reports from the personnel that made first contact. The Vors are very religious. Wouldn't just joke around about this. Stay frosty. I don't like it.
So, you must be the first roadblock. And you have a jetpack. Good for you.
Wait till he lands, then hit him where it hurts.
One down, one to go.
Jack, that's the only way to the core. Run for it.
This is it. Check your ammo, tug in those briefs, and batter up.
This conduit is nothing like we've seen or used. I think it generates a dark matter mass and uses it as FTL propulsion. The amount of energy it would take... No wonder the Vorus need Promethium so desperately. They'd literally be driftwood without it.
Well, they should have thought about it sooner. We finally adopted a superior methodology.
Yeah, well... Whoa.
This god looks like something I ate in my sleep, and I need my daily protein. No visible armor links.
No time to look for weak spots. Just sprint.
Hey,
Just like that.
We won't live long enough to give it a second thought.
Take it, freak. Now we're godlike.
Sorry to break the festivities, but the core's melting faster than a popsicle in a furnace. I suggest you run like hell.
Great balls of fire!
Right. Left. Go left. Straight ahead. Floor. Into the service tunnels. Go. Jack, they're releasing elites out of stasis.
Brilliant.
You need to go down, not up.
I'm trying. Stand by, taking a detour. You're shitting me.
Back up and take the left catwalk. I don't want to sound like a broken record, but run!
What do you think I'm doing?
T-minus 45 to point of no return. We'll deal with dog passing. T-minus 35 to point of no return. T-minus 15. I suggest you move it.
Okay, home stretch, boss. Time to set a new world record for alien ship escapes.
I'm on the other side of the docking bay.
out in our favor again?
Like you wouldn't believe.
Those fuckers will be desperate for Promethium now more than ever. Willing to stake everything on it. We better get ready for round 2.
Like Patton once said, you don't win a war by dying for your country. You win a war by making the other poor dumb bastard die for his.